Hi, everyone. This is Tyler Muir with TMM Capital Advisory, and I have Jeff Ackert, the CEO of Cascade Copper. Hi, Jeff.
Hello, Tyler. How are you today?
Good, good. I'm doing well. You guys released some news on Thursday, and we just wanted to take a little bit of time and talk about the results that you came up with at Fire Mountain. I've got the news release open here on the screen so everybody can see. So, Jeff, let's dive into the news release here, and you know, let's chat about it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and it's great to have that press release up so people can have a look at it as we're chatting about it. But the focus that I think we want to tell people about today is the tenor of the copper, gold, and silver numbers that we've come up with in our last program. And the idea was to get in there and confirm what was done in the past. Obviously, we had seen some very good numbers come out of the historic sampling that were done as recently as 2019. And we went in and didn't really focus necessarily on where they had sampled in the previously, but we wanted to check sort of the entire area of what we call the Inferno Zone. And what we found was that the numbers certainly are close to where the old ones were, but within 100 to 200 meters of each of those samples. Yeah, maybe you can scroll down and we can have a look at that one map. This one here is just a copper values, and they're thematic and just icons of different sizes or different values. So the bigger the value, the bigger the icon on the map. But you can see that most of the samples, the recent ones, as well as the historic ones, seem to be lining up along the contact with a volcanic system on the eastern side and a sedimentary system on the western side. And the values that we're getting out of here are associated with sulfides, which is chalcopyrite. So we're seeing quite a bit of chalcopyrite. We're seeing a lot of pyrite and a little bit of pyrrhotite and some magnetite. And the numbers are coming out of sheared material, sheared rock along that contact, vein systems. And really what it's telling us is that there is a porphyry system here where we haven't yet seen the causative porphyry, but we are seeing the evidence of it with this veining, with the sulfide material, with the numbers we're getting, the copper, gold, and silver numbers. So, we're excited about this because it's fitting into the model that we had put together for a porphyry system. The intrusive is off to the northeastern side. We know that there's fluids coming up along the contact, and it's altering and mineralizing this system on the side. So it's a perfect model really for us. We really like it.
And this contact here, this goes, it's about 2 kilometers in length, and you figure it's open on both ends.
Yes, exactly. So the mapping has shown us that this contact is at least here within the Inferno Zone itself. But what we're seeing with the magnetic surveys is that magnetic trend continues to the northwest and to the southeast. So by inference, we're saying, okay, well, there is possibility for similar mineralization along that contact further away from where we've sampled. And as I said, we focused in our last program this summer on this particular area. We didn't go along strike either way. And that would be something we would consider and probably do in 2024, just to get some more idea of how big the system is.
Okay, yeah, and you're getting some great gold and silver values there as well. So a lot of these samples here have elevated levels of chalcopyrite. This is typical mineralization that you find in a porphyry deposit. So. So what do your plans kind of look like for Fire Mountain in 2024?
Yeah, so 2024 will just basically follow up with the results that we had from this program. It's given us the confidence that we're in a good system. We're seeing the right mineralization. We did some hyperspectral alteration mapping and analysis, and we're just waiting for the results to come back from that. What we're hoping to see from that information is the relative amounts of alteration associated with a porphyry system. We already have initial thoughts on that. We've got some initial results that show us that it's there. We want to look and see how much more we've got of that alteration halo. But for 2024, we'll continue field work to the north and the south. Our plan is to do some geophysics, including on the ground induced polarization, IP work. And what that's going to show us is the association of the sulfide material along that trend. And where there's sulfide, there's chalcopyrite, there's pyrite. So it's all part of that same model. So what it does is it narrows down the areas that we want to target for drilling. As we know, drilling is an expensive program, and we want to make sure that we're going to, use our drill dollars appropriately and efficiently to find the next big thing here. So that's the plan for 2024 at Fire Mountain.
So you're following all of the necessary steps. You're not going in blind, and you're using the dollars accordingly to really make your drill targeting narrow in on where you're going to have the most success.
Exactly. Yeah.
Speaking about drilling, you've mentioned that you're looking at doing some drilling potentially at Rogers Creek and the Center Fire Mountain. So do you want to fill us in on what those kind of timelines look like?
Absolutely, yeah. So our focus has been to get in to drill at Rogers Creek. It is the project that we used as our qualifying project. It had the most work done on it, and it was basically drill ready. We've got geophysics, we've got geochemistry, we've got some previous drilling from a previous property owner. So we've got all the components together that have given us the proper targeting. Unfortunately, the permitting process in BC has been a bit slow, and it is in process now, and we're not sure exactly when we're going to get that permit. We're hoping maybe by the first quarter of 2024. But in the meantime, what we decided, because of the time frame of permitting in BC, we thought, well, why don't we get another project where we could get in and drill it relatively quickly, and maybe a bit quicker than Rogers Creek. So that was the reason we went and picked up the project in Ontario at Centerfire. The permitting process there is a little bit more streamlined. It's a little bit quicker. So we have started the process there, and we're hoping that sometime in January we'll have that permitting done, completed, and we can get on the ground and drill at Centerfire. And Centerfire, maybe our listeners can go back, our viewers can go back and look at some of the work we've done at Centerfire, but we're encouraged about that one too. And we do have some drill ready targets there. So that's our sort of our drilling program for 2024. As far as the other projects, as you mentioned before, we're doing a systematic evaluation of each of the projects we have. In other words, we're not going to go in and drill blind on these things. We want to be sure that we're using our dollars properly. So we're prioritizing, work on the ground, including sampling like we've done at Fire Mountain. We're doing compilation on some of the historic work, like up at Copper Plateau, and just going through systematically each one so that we know where to drill when the time comes.
Sure. Yeah, no, those are great plans. And I think, everybody that's following the market here has seen a dramatic rise in the copper prices. I think if we get over that $4 range, the party's really going to start. But there's been some significant events throughout the world where, the Panama First Quantum project is being shut down. That cuts off a lot of copper production. And so, you have the right recipe. You've got the assets, Jeff. You're taking a very systematic approach to ensuring that these assets are going to be explored appropriately and calculated. So are you looking at any more assets, or have you kind of picked your portfolio and you're going to just work on those ones?
Yeah, well, first of all, I agree with you on the fundamentals of the copper market. We really see demand increasing for many reasons, including electrification of vehicles, transportation, and so on. But then the supply chain looks like it's going to be damaged somewhat because of, as you mentioned, Cobre Panama is not going to be in a position to produce any copper. A couple of other companies have reduced their output as well. So the supply demand chain there is flawed, and certainly the price will reflect that, and it'll be on the upper side for sure. Now, as far as us acquiring more assets, I would say we're pretty good shape at the moment. But I think one of the things we have to remember is that we're not going to fall in love with any of our projects if they don't produce the results that we expect and we want to see. We will certainly rationalize those and continue to look for quality projects in the future. But for now, I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, you have the luxury of doing that because your payments are low, your ownership is excellent, and you have that groundwork that you're doing. So I think that pretty well covers everything we were going to talk about today, Jeff. So thanks for your time, and I hope everybody enjoys getting to know Cascade Copper a little bit more and the approach that they're taking to this company. So thanks again.
Thank you very much, Tyler. Thank you.